We do. You need to get close. There you go. All right, so what are we talking about today?
Avalon Place.
Cost of living, everything about it, right? So if that's what you're here for, stick around. We're getting after it
Right now.
right now. Hey everybody, I am, actually, you are.
Drew Mims.
And I am Kerry Fletcher, and together we're Drew Kerry. Hey, look.
Good, he cracks himself.
I know. This channel is all about living in Houston, Texas. The good, the bad, the ugly, you name it. So if that's what you're here for, if that's what you want, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. That way you're notified every time we put out a new video. And then also, hey, if you like what we're doing, hit that like button, let us know. If you don't like what we're doing, tell us down in the comment section. Or if you haven't.
Why would you ask him?
Because that way we know. Because if
I'm gonna keep it positive. If you have a suggestion for a video that you'd like to see, if there's something about Houston that you'd like to know, put it down in the comments.
True.
I don't want to hear about what you don't like. He might.
I do. It's called quality improvement. Hey, look, we love helping people, and would love to help you or anybody you know if you're thinking about moving to the city of Houston or this area. So when you're ready, go ahead and give us a call, send us a text message, send us an email. Heck, if you want to, send us a note via
Pony Express.
Any which way, we've got your back when moving to Houston. But let's get into it, because we're going to be talking about Avalon Place.
So Avalon Place is just a little section, which we'll show you on the map, that is surrounded by River Oaks. Gosh, it was...
But it has like this unique history that's sort of tied to River Oaks, sort of.
Yes, Dr. William Thomas Dickey, who I think came to Houston back in the late 1800s, like 1880s-ish, from Virginia. He was a doctor at the Heights Infirmary in 1989, and he bought 460 acres of land in what was then considered West Houston, which is now the River Oaks, Avalon Place area. And that land went all the way, I think 1,000 feet of each side of Kirby. So it's like a little, which you'll see on the map.
Yeah.
Little rectangle spreading out either side of Kirby. So he bought it, I think it's $60 an acre. Can you even imagine? And when his debt load became burdensome, like too much, he sold off 300 acres of, I guess, what was considered the lowland.
But that 300 acres, didn't that turn into what is now River Oaks?
River Oaks, addition from San Felipe north to Buffalo Bayou. Then I believe his son, William Dickey, graduated from TCU, and he went to Harvard, and then he started developing the Avalon addition, which was nothing but farmland back in 1936.
Wow, all the way up to 1936, it was just farmland.
Yep, the economy was terrible, and having no other job, he just portioned off a block of his land and borrowed $10,500, can you imagine, to put in streets and water pipes, gas lines, and everything else necessary to develop, I think it was 36 lots at that point. And so he paid off his debt as each lot sold. So that was smart.
That's an amazing story.
And by World War II, I think most of the lots in Avalon Place had sold.
Yeah.
And back then, it's kind of interesting. Do you know how much labor was for a whole day's work?
Probably $10 or less.
$1.
$1?
$1.
It was off by a factor of 10.
So, I mean, you could get the best carpenter for like $30 to $40 a week.
Wow.
Which is unbelievable.
Now you can't get the best carpenter for $30 an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
now Avalon Place, there's a lot of people that don't even know that Avalon Place exists, right? Because it sort of blends in with River Oaks.
Most people probably just think it's part of River Oaks.
Yeah. And don't they have very similar HOAs, very similar deed restrictions and rules? Trivia question. River Oaks Elementary, is it actually in River Oaks?
I believe it's actually in Avalon Place.
Yeah, it is. It's south of River Oaks. It's actually in the middle of Avalon Place.
That's right. Well, of course, again, River Oaks sort of surrounds Avalon Place. So it's a very affluent inner loop neighborhood, and it's got 7 sections, which we were talking about. It's the 7th most expensive neighborhood in Houston, and it's also one of the most desired areas to live in the River Oaks vicinity.
So, in speaking of River Oaks via Avalon Place, even though they're very similar and they have very similar deed restrictions, it's a different process and it's a different HOA if you're doing any kind of renovation or rebuild or work. So, if you do buy in that area, you need to be sure that you know.
And we'll put a link to the HOA for you so you can take a look at that if you have any questions. But aside from it's very centrally located, right inside the loop, and again, you are close to all kinds of restaurants and shopping, and again, pretty easy access to all the major freeways as well. So while there are a number of new construction homes, Avalon Place is more known for its elegantly restored older homes.
Right.
So there's an appreciation there for the older architecture, and people really going in and doing a beautiful job of restoring and remodeling.
Yeah, I've held open houses and there are lots. Beautiful.
The lots are also very generously sized. The median lot size is 9,300 square feet, so which is pretty substantial inside the loop, but on par with being next to River Oaks.
Yeah.
So as with the rest of the Houston, it's got limited inventory, although probably even more so. Help you understand, I guess, the pricing of what it would look like and the cost of living if you wanted to move to Houston and live in Avalon Place. So we're gonna kind of look at the last 10 years and see what home prices were like in 2010 and what they were like in 2020 to see what kind of appreciation rate there has been. So we'll start off with that. So the median sales price in 2010 was $840,000. Last year, 2020, it was 1.75 million median price. Wow. So that's 108% increase over the last 10-year period. So again, the property values have more than doubled. Great investment opportunity. The median sales price per square foot in 2010 was $315, and today, or last year, it was $480. So again, that was a 52.5% increase over a 10-year period for the price per square foot.
So that means the houses have gotten bigger because there has been some new construction.
Yes. Shall we talk about transportation first?
Yeah, sure. So transportation within Texas or within Houston has a tendency to be right on, above average, about 119 to the 100, which would be the national average. We enjoy really low fuel costs, but we have higher auto insurance rates than normal. And while it doesn't really impact those people who live in Avalon Place, or if you're living in Avalon Place, a lot of people spend a lot of money on transportation because Houston's so big, and people commuting back and forth. So we have a tendency to have a slightly higher than average transportation cost.
True. So what about utilities?
I think utilities are like right on the average, maybe a little bit higher if I remember correctly. Was it 104?
Utilities?
No, utilities are lower.
96 and a half.
Sorry. Yep. 96 and a half. So
you're not going to have, so in Houston, your biggest electricity costs are going to be air conditioning primarily. Yeah. Our winters are very mild. We may even get one hard freeze a year, and we don't even have a hard freeze every year. Mm-hmm. Then there's years where we have, little bits of snow, which we haven't seen this year so far. But the weather here is pretty mild. In the summer though, it gets very hot and humid. And which, keep your skin young if you're concerned about that. But the air conditioning is really where your bills can go up, which is another reason a lot of people prefer to have new construction homes or homes that have been remodeled and insulated with double pane windows, that sort of thing, because it really does make a difference. And having a high efficiency HVAC system in Houston is key to keeping those utility bills down, because in some of those older homes, larger homes, you know, your utility bill can run, or electricity can run anywhere from, you know, what, $500 to $1,000 a month, depending on the larger homes.
But also making sure that your air conditioners are properly sized. You know, so you're going through and doing that evaluation, making sure that from an engineering standpoint, they're not too large or too small.
Yeah, I mean, that's another video for when you go to buy a home, you know, things to inspect and what to look for. But in Houston, the AC systems are extremely important.
Now, every time we talk utilities with people, we always bring up and try to inform people about
I think we touched on transportation a little bit, and I think we talked about the fact that gas prices are low, and then natural gas prices are fairly low. So if you cook with gas, your heating is most likely going to be gas, unless you live in some sort of a condominium or high-rise where it's zoned for electric.
Yep.
So our gas bill is typically very low because we just use it to cook mostly. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think we've turned on our heat once this year. So. But we like to keep it a little bit colder.
We enjoy it on the cooler side.
We do.
Groceries? Do we want to?
So groceries are pretty darn close to the national average, 98%. And we've got, I think, a great selection of grocery stores.
Yeah.
So you've got H-E-B, Kroger, Central Market.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Randalls are shutting down now.
Whole Foods.
All right within that vicinity, near Avalon Place. And so, and Central Market being probably one of the closest. They've even opened up a new Target where the old Randalls used to be, right at the corner of Shepherd and Westheimer. And there's a Trader Joe's also that's right there on Shepherd. So very convenient, as well as having a good selection of stores to go to. So it just depends on, you know, which store is your style. Mm-hmm. Health services.
Yeah, so health services, this one's easy. It's coming in at 92-ish. Very, very affordable healthcare, but the affordability is not really the kicker about Houston and Avalon Place. It's more the quality.
We have some of the best doctors here in Houston. It's really...
Well, the Med Center is the largest medical center in the world, and you have lots of specialists, lots of hospitals, and people come from all over the world just to go to this Med Center, which if you're at Avalon Place, that's most likely where you would go, is the Med Center. But Drew and I always tell people that they have branches in places.
Really scared me. Sorry.
They have, I was just coming into touch. They have branches and locations, you know, all over. So you're never very far away from one of the medical center branches, no matter where you live in Houston.
So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Overall, cost of living in Houston is 96.5% compared to the national average. It's affordable. It's fun. We think it's a great place to live. We love living here, and we would love for you to live here. So
give us a call, send us a text message, send us an email, or even
Pony Express.
We don't care.
And if there's, you know, more videos that you want to see, if you've got a topic or questions, a neighborhood you'd like to see highlighted, let us know.
And I always ask, you know, if you stuck around this long, go ahead and hit that like button. We know you liked it, so thank you.
Till next time.